The next three numbers that we have to change into decimals are all fractions. We have our first one is an improper fraction, and let's go ahead and simplify that. Negative 12 over 8. Try it yourself. Pause the video and then come back and check your work against mine. So negative 12/8, I know I can simplify that. I just need to reduce top and bottom. And they're both divisible by 4, both of the numbers. So I have negative 3 over 2. As a decimal, that's negative 1.5. I just got that by dividing. 3 divided by 2. It's in there one time. My decimal, bring down my 0. 2 goes into 10 5 times. Now, if I simplify 10 over 40, top and bottom are divisible by 10. And I get 1 over 4, and that is decimal 0.25. Next, I have negative 8/12, which is just the reciprocal of our first number. And this is easy enough to simplify. Again, we know we divide top and bottom by 4. But if you didn't know they were both divisible by 4, we know they're both even numbers. And whenever we have even numbers, we can divide by 2. And we get negative 4 over 6, which we have even numbers again, so we'll divide them by 2 again. And we end up with negative 2/3, which comes out to the decimal negative 0.6 repeating. Now that we have all of our numbers, we can graph them on the number line. So we said square root of 64 over 4 was 4. This was the square root of 8, which we estimated at approximately 2.8. This was negative 1.5. This was 0.25. And this was negative 0.6 repeating. So when we put these on our number line, let's start with the number 4. And then we have 2.8. Square root of 8 is approximately 2.8. Negative 1.5. 0.25. And negative 0.6 repeating. There are our numbers on the number line. Now we may not have a list of numbers to put on a number line. They may just ask us to compare two numbers. And in math, when we compare two numbers, we use our inequality symbols. Let's do a brief review of what these inequality symbol means. The first symbol is less than. How do we know it's less than? It's pointing at the smaller number. So you're saying the first number is less than the second number you have listed. 2 is less than 10. So the second symbol is greater than. And so this symbol is telling us our first number, for example, 100, is greater than our second number, 52. Now the next two symbols are just the equal sign combined with the less than or greater than. So up here with the less than, we can write less than or equal to. We're using half of an equal sign with our less than symbol. So that means less than or equal to. And the other way around, we'd have greater than or equal to. And we include that extra bar underneath. We're saying it may be equal to. So let's look at an example. It says compare square root of 15 and 3 2/5. So we've already learned how to estimate the square root of 15. We start by thinking about the perfect squares we know that come before and after that. Before the square root of 15, we have the square root of 9. And after the square root of 15 is the square root of 16. Those numbers we can place on the number line as 4 and 3. So square root of 15, somewhere between 4 and 3. And we can estimate that's a lot closer to 4. So it's going to be bigger than 3.5. and it's going to be very close to 4. It might be 3.8 or 3.9. It's approximately in there somewhere because it's getting very close to 4. Now we have the mixed number, 3 2/5. Let's go ahead and convert that into an improper fraction. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2 is 17. So that is 17/5, and we want to turn that into a decimal without using a calculator. So that is 17 divided by 5. 5 goes into 17 3 times. That's 15. Bring down the 2. We have to add a decimal and a 0. 5 goes into 24 times. So 3 2/5 we know is equal to 3.4. Square root of 15 we said is approximately 3.8 or 3.9. So when we're comparing these, we can say the square root of 15 is less than 3 2/5.